Welcome to 10 Minutes with Tony Scott. I really appreciate you tuning in to today's show. Today's show is sponsored by Tommy's Chicago's Pizza in Mendota Heights. Tommy's is a very sports-friendly restaurant that is great for year-end parties, post-game parties, and one of their specialties, catering big events. Last fall, they catered our Pee Wee Challenge kickoff party, and the food was great. We're really excited to see the AAA hockey teams that hit the ice this spring for Tommy's Chicago's. Not sure what it is about hockey and pizza, but they seem to be a great match. Tommy's is located in Mendota Heights at Dodd Road and Highway 110, just east of 35E. Okay, it's State Tourney Week. Do you like the State Tourney swag that I got from Minnesota Hockey that will be for sale this weekend? This hoodie is the one I like the best. This is the week everyone laces them up for all season. The invite tourneys are nice, regions are a blast, but state is what it's all about. I'll never forget covering my first state tourney in 2011. Bloomington Ice Garden was packed on that Saturday for the semifinals of the PWA. The energy in that building was awesome. The players that are now playing in high school and now on to college, they were even better. I haven't missed a state tourney since. The atmosphere is off the charts. This year, instead of giving away the winners on the show, I decided to give my sleeper picks for all 6 in the tourney. But before we get to them, I made a couple rules. Rule 1, if your team is called Edina, you can't be a sleeper. Rule 2, if you won state last year, you can't be a sleeper. Sorry, Grand Rapids and St. Paul. And finally, if you're number 1 in the state, you aren't a sleeper either. Sorry, Centennial, Minneapolis, and Wayzata Blue. So here we go. We'll start in order with the Pee Wee Bees. The Ely Wolves will drive 5 hours to Rochester to play. My guess is they won't be there to lose. They have been dominant in the playoffs so far. They'll put a scare into Edina on Saturday. Pee Wee A. If there's any level we know best, it's Pee Wee A. We've seen all of these teams except South St. Paul. Shame on me. We think Tartan is the most surprising team the last few weeks. They will give Edina everything and more this weekend. Pee Wee AA. The AA field has 2 favorites, Minneapolis and Rosemount, and 6 sleepers. Take your pick. Our pick is Jefferson. They gave Rosemount a few headaches in regions. They have a kid on their team who can take over a game in Carson Jacobs, and they have a Wiz Wyatt Player of the Year finalist in Grayson Height, and a stud goalie in Basil Kamsha. Bantam Bees. There are a bunch of great teams in the Bantam Bee field. Brainerd has enough talent to win 3 straight, including a win over Wayzata in the semis, and whoever comes out of the lower bracket 4 of Moorhead, Sibley, Prior Lake, and Elk River. Bantam A. Based on my rules, I can't pick St. Paul. They're the defending champ. Edina's out. Orono and Johnson, Como, and North St. Paul have both held on to number 1 quite a bit this season. That leaves Spring Lake Park, Park Cottage Grove, Warroad, and Alex. I'm going with Alex, a team that has had 9 lives throughout the playoffs. They have enough young stars that they could slide through the state tourney and win it. Finally, Bantam AA. There are 6 teams who wouldn't surprise me if they won this year. OMG and Jefferson are the only 2 with sleeper capabilities. This field is way too strong for a sleeper to run through and win. The other 6 teams have camped out and paid taxes in the top 5 all year for a reason. Bantam AA is a no sleeper zone. Sorry, Jefferson and OMG. Speaking of picks, this year YHH has partnered with General Sports in Edina to do a bracket challenge for the Pee Wee AA and Bantam AA pools. Simply fill out a bracket like this and email it to YHH. Players of any age are welcome. The person with the best pool at each Bantam and Pee Wee tournament wins a $100 gift card, compliments of General Sports. We will post the leaders on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and announce the winners on the show next week. There will be a button prominently displayed on the site for more details. Thanks to General Sports for their sponsorship. General Sports has long been a big supporter of YHH. We really appreciate everything they've done for our site. Now Prospects Combine. This summer, YHH will team with the University of Minnesota coach Grant Batolny and the Lumberyard to host the Now Prospects Combine, an invite-only camp for the area's best second-year Pee Wees and U12s. A 5-day camp that will feature top players from Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Illinois. Player invites go out this week. Here are the top 5 matchups for the first day of the state tournament. Before I name them, let me first take my hat off to Minnesota Hockey for really getting the AA tourney process exactly right. The Pee Wee AA is a complete mess, and I mean that in the best way. 4 of the top 6 teams in the state didn't make it, but they all had their chance. That state tourney is still up for grabs, but on the other hand, the Bantam AA has 4 heavyweight title fights back-to-back, including 2 neighborhood brawls between Tonka and Wayzata and Jefferson Edina in the first round. How cool is that? Here are the 5 that we think are great games on Friday. Prior Lake versus Rose Mountain, Pee Wee AA. The Lakers are playing about as well as any team in Minnesota, and they have a great coach and a great goalie. Watch out for that game. Orono St. Paul in Bantam A. The number 1 team in the state, Orono, takes on the defending champs. That should be a great game in Duluth. Number 3, Elk River and Prior Lake in Bantam B. 2 of the top 3 teams in the state in the first round. Wow, that should be awesome. Number 2 game, we think, is Orono versus St. Paul in Pee Wee A, a rematch of the Founders Cup game. That game was a 6-6 back and forth exciting game that went into overtime and then in a shootout where St. Paul finally won it. And finally, the best game of the day has to be the first game of the day in the entire tournament. Centennial versus Grand Rapids, the number 1 team in the state versus the defending champion. North versus South, both are huge heavyweights. That game could go either way. All 6 tournaments are going to be fantastic this weekend. We can't wait. Over the past 2 weeks, as seasons have come to an end, we have gotten a lot of inquiries about the Exceed Hockey Training Program over at Richfield. All I can say is the cost is great, the coaches are awesome, and the flexibility of the schedule is great for kids who work or play other sports. If you're interested in signing up, please use the sign-up code YHH10 to get 10% off your registration. Tweet of the Week. This week's Tweet of the Week is a Tweet of the Year nominee. It comes to us from University of Minnesota recruit Scott Reedy, who plays for Shattuck St. Mary's prep team. Scott tweets, "I really wish I could play in the tourney." The state tournament is a great event. There's so many positives to playing with your buddies from the block in front of your friends and family. It was great to see a kid like Scott Reedy, who has chosen another route, to come out and say it. Congrats to the 5 Wiz Wyatt Pee Wee finalists who were named on Friday on the site. 5 outstanding kids, all truly worthy of the award. Matthew Gleason from St. Paul, Grayson Height from Jefferson, Christian Miller from Greenway, Will Mortensen from Minneapolis, and finally Nate Warner from St. Cloud. The bios on these kids were really fun to write. The letters from the coaches and teachers, and even one cousin, were really fun to read. All these kids are really special and a great addition to the proud Minnesota hockey tradition. Our Bantam Player of the Year finalists will be named this week, and the Wiz Wyatt Squirt finalists will be named next week. A complete award show will be aired here on YHH with all the award winners in April. Registrations for the Warrior Cup, the first phase of our summer series, have gone bananas the last 2 weeks. Several levels are beyond capacity and several are full. We still have a few open spots. In the 03 invite, we need a 10th team, and in the 04 open, we need 1 more team to fill the event. There is a YHH Summer Series tab on the right side of the site. Click there for more information. The drop-dead deadline for the Warrior Cup registration is Friday, March 20th. Boom Roasted. This week's Boom Roasted goes out to Section 207 at the state tournament. In years past, it was Section 216. This group of children have a humorous shtick going at the tourney. They do some clever cheering that makes fun of each cheering sections at the game. So why roast them, you ask? There's a pretty clear line in the sand for me in what is clever and what is just lame. There's no place for swearing in rinks where there are thousands of young kids, and when I say swearing, I'm talking every Cheers punchline had an F-bomb. No thanks, guys. Take your potty mouth to the next WWE event. The state tourney is hallowed ground. Boom Roasted. Thumbs up. This week's thumbs up is an easy one. It goes out to my friend John, who continually amazes me with his creative flair. This year's All Hockey Here team video was as awesome as the state tournament itself. The player intro has now become as important to the game as the game itself. Luke from Lakefield North set new ground by removing his ponytail and skated toward the camera. Thumbs up to the tourney for delivering another great drama-filled event with great hockey at both A and AA level. But an even bigger thumbs up to John for his video. This year the video will hit 1 million eyeballs and will raise $15,000 for the Hendrickson Foundation. Thumbs up. Thanks for tuning in to today's show. Really looking forward to a great weekend. Good luck to all teams.